I think you're a very versatile actor, from Bill and Ted to Point Break. What
Thanks.
sort of preparation do you do to get into the mindset of John Wick?
Um, I've been playing the role for a while now,
Yeah.
and I have a very familiar feeling and place in my body uh, that I kind of can click into, and I really start and get that process as I put the suit on. When I put the suit on, have my shoes, and straighten the tie, pull the jacket, I feel like I'm ready.
Got you. My next question is, there's a lot of Japanese influence in this film. And I was curious as to whether you did any research into the culture and what it was like working with Hiroyuki.
Definitely a lot of Japanese influence in the film. One of the titles that we originally were going to call it was Hagakure. So there's a lot about death, how to die, and, from a very broad, generalized perspective, the idea of Bushido, about honor, and working with Hiroyuki. We had worked together in 2012, and so in John Wick Chapter 4, we're friends with the past. And so to have had the experience to work with him on a film called 47 Ronin, and then to be together here working again, I felt added a kind of depth to it, and because we had shared past experience together that we could kind of infuse to the performance, and a trust and appreciation. He's such a wonderful artist.
Right.
And watching him get to fight again, his sword work is sublime, his timing, his intention, and so it was really special for me to work with him again.
That's great. I'm glad that you got to reconnect again. I completely forgot you guys worked together. My next question is, we're running out of time here. What do you think, after all the revenge is said and done, right? John Wick's all done. He finally finished it all. What do you think he's looking forward to most?
I think what he's looking forward to most he can't have.
Oh, right.
And I think for now he's looking for peace. I think he's kind of pushing against the high table in a way to gain his autonomy, to have peace, I think,
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much. Congrats again.
Thanks, Antonio. Ciao.
So first I wanted to say congrats on the project. And so can you just tell us a little bit about how you were introduced to the project,
Right.
and obviously what made you want to say yes?
For sure. So I got the call from Chad Stileski. He reached out and said, hey, I got this interesting part. Would love to talk to me, Shamier Anderson, about it. And I got the call from my team, and they said, hey, Chad wants to meet you about this project. I actually worked with Chad very briefly on a previous film, and he remembered my work. It was probably about a year or two later. I got on a Zoom with him. I said I was in the gym at the time, and he's like, hey, you're Zooming me in the gym. I was doing some boxing. And he's like, did you plan this? I'm like, nah, man, I do my gym at the same time, and you just happened to call me at this time, so we're just gonna have to do it. He's like, I got this movie called John Wick 4. Let me know if you're into it, take a peek at the script. And I'm like, whoa. You have me at John Wick 4. Like, I'll do whatever. I'll do whatever on that movie. I'll do catering, whatever you need me to do. So, to that end, I read the script very quickly. Everybody on my team was like, did you like it? What's going on? Did you like it? Did you like it? Did you like it? And he's like, yeah, I want you to consider the role of the tracker. And I looked at it, and I was like, man, I'm in. And one thing led to a next, and now I'm here, which is pretty surreal. And I'm just so lucky to be, to have been invited into this incredible saga and to be playing the tracker in this beloved franchise, John Wick 4.
So obviously you were super, super excited when you heard John Wick 4. Can you tell me about Have you seen the other movies?
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty young. Like, how old were you? Or like, do you remember where you were when the first one came out?
I am pretty young and probably was younger when the first one came out. And I've been watching Keanu Reeves, who was probably old enough to be my father. Like that's literally, just to give you perspective and watching all of his movies growing up. So it's not lost on me who this man is and what he's meant to me as a moviegoer and to many other people. I'm a big action movie fan. I love kung fu movies, Hong Kong movies, just like that's just been my bread and butter. It's why I have a martial arts background. And so obviously I was familiar with the movies. Obviously I rewatched the movies. And even when I was on set in my trailer, I was watching the movies, I had them on repeat. The reason for that was my character Tracker. I felt that he was a thespian and a John Wick enthusiast, simply meaning he studied him. So I treated the John Wick films as documentaries that my character Tracker was using to study, so he was able to go and take over and be like, I've been watching, I've been doing the work, I'm familiar with you. And the entire world, even on set, I treated it like it was like, okay, this is the John, I remember that person, I remember that thing, as a Tracker, because I felt the Tracker was the closest piece that the audience had that was super real. This is such a fantastical world. We have so many incredible folks, so many incredible characters, and the Tracker and his dog, in my opinion, are probably the most realist grounded characters in the film. And I think that's the bridge. And so I just wanted to bridge that humanity between the Tracker and the audience.
Now, what do you think it is about the character, without giving too much away, that makes him so relatable?
I think he has a dog, that's number one. I think, he has a dog, he has a puppy. A lot of people have puppies or friends who have puppies. And so I think that's the first aspect, which really, once again, that bridge of realism in such a fantastical world. I think also he's not dressed like anybody else. He kind of has his own style, his own vibe, his own demeanor. And then also too, he doesn't take it too seriously. There's interactions between him and the Marquis, and literally he's not even fazed by this man, right? And I think that's why he's so relatable, that's why he's so fun, and why so many people want more of the Tracker. We want a spin-off, we want a mini-series, we want, like, what are we doing? We want more of the Tracker, So I think that's a big part of it, which ultimately is the writing. I didn't invent this guy, I'm a vessel for his voice. And and it just comes down to the great team just crafting great, memorable characters.
Let's talk about working on set with some of these
legends.
Legends. I was gonna say legends, but I feel like that's
you could say it.
Injustice.
I know, right?
Lawrence Fishburne,
Trust
John
me.
Reeves, Hiroyuki even. What was it like working with them? And was there anything that you picked up that you want to share with us that that you're going to take away with you from set?
First of all, man, I've said this too many times to count. I'm a fan of movies. I'm a cinephile. I love filmmaking. I love watching them. I love going to the movies. That was my escape, being a kid from the projects in Toronto. And so being able to share the same space with these guys and now calling them my colleagues is not lost on me. I also take it very seriously because there's a sense of responsibility, because I got to take myself out and the fanboy out and the excitement out and get to the work. And obviously through that I learned so much through osmosis, working with guys like Keanu specifically, who has done so many movies, especially so many big blockbuster films, and you would think, individuals who have done things to nauseum, there'd be a sense of jadedness, exhaustion, but this man came to set every single day and gave it 110% as if it was his first and last job. And that was really admirable. And things that he would tell me would be like, be like water. When you're climbing a mountain, the climb's gonna be hard, you just gotta respect the climb. Because if you keep complaining the entire climb up, it's not gonna make it any easier. And so little, adages like that really I took home. But then also just observing, little conversations and just observing and just seeing work ethic, how they show up to set every day. I've made mention of this before. These guys are literally, this is the Olympics for ninjas. All-star weekend for the best fighters in the world. And I felt so at home because I have such an affinity for martial arts. My discipline's Wing Chun and Muay Thai. And to be able to do that and see guys like Donnie Yen, who played Ip Man, who did Wing Chun, my mind was exploding. and then meeting Donnie and him looking at me going, "You do kung fu? Okay, okay, all right. I love that, man. A black boy? Yeah, man, do kung fu. I'm like, yeah, man, that's me, man. You know? So I love it, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, but also it's just bridging that thing because these preconceived notions of Asian culture, North American culture, martial arts, and being a black man, a black Canadian who does kung fu, been doing kung fu for 15 years. I think that's the beauty of this movie and the beauty of this, you know, cacophony of cultures that come together. And then you're able to see, like, you know, it's a universal language, which ultimately brings community, which I think is so important. Beyond all the entertainment and all the violence, car crashes, all that good stuff is still rooted in community. And that's why this movie, you know, on the page is one thing, but if you really look behind it, we have such an incredible diverse cast from all over the world, all coming together to make this incredible piece that people get to enjoy at home.
Well, I think that's all. Thank you, first of all, thank you for your answers. I think
Sure,
that's all
man.
the time we have for, and I'm really glad that you had fun on set, and congrats again on the world.
Appreciate you, man. No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Have a good one.
You too, man.
So first, I wanted to say, how were you introduced to the project, and you know, what made you want to say yes?
This biggest series, biggest John Wick series, but this one is more international and big scale, and so many fightings. So, yeah, I was so happy to join this series as a Koji Shimazu, manager of Osaka Continental Hotel. And then, yeah, when I read the script, immediately I said, yes, I take it. And Chad called me, I created the scene for you. It's an old friend of John Wick, and let me do it. See you on set. So immediately I jumped in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I would have done the same thing. What was it like working together again with Keanu? I know you guys worked together on a previous film, 47 Ronin. What was it like, you know, coming back and working with him and, you know, being such a big friend of John Wick?
Yeah, it was a great reunion. And then he never changed since 47 Ronin. You know, always humble and shy, and then hard to himself, training, hard worker, but very kind to others. He never changed. That's the most great point, I think. And on set, always calm and joking and then enjoying the conversation with the crew and cast, take care of everyone. So easy to create the atmosphere as an old friend, John and Koji. We could use own chemistry just into our role. So when we've done the scene on the roof, drinking whiskey and talking, it was so natural for us. We had lunch, dinner, drink together many times. So just like us. So easy to, you know, overlap between real life to role, John and Koji. We could use those chemistry in the movie.
Nice. I mean, that's always good to have like a co-star that you can work with. That's easy to work with, at least.
Yeah.
So this film, you know, obviously has a lot of Japanese influence on it, especially your character. Your character's morals are, you know, it's just, you know, they're asking, you know, why are you doing this? You know, it's because he's a friend, you know. Was there any, you know, Japanese culture that you brought onto set, or yeah, anything like that that you might have brought also as well to the film?
Yeah, about the costume or the set design, Chad wanted to create the mixture between East and Japanese, East meets West, like that. So it was not necessary to be a Japanese, but in my character, Chad want me to holding the samurai spirit in my heart. That's why he made a decision. He has a way. What is beautiful? What is shame? So all the judges from those kind of spirit, including sacrifice. So those mental thing, I brought some Japanese traditional samurai way. But yeah, just like that.
So I just have a few more questions for you here. So I know that you have some martial arts training, and I know that you had some training on The Last Samurai. Was there any training for this film, like combat training or stunt training, that was different, or did you bring some of that back from the other films?
I had a 3 weeks training, but I know those stunt guys. I worked with them, the team, many times. They know me, I know them. So we skipped the basic training and jumped into the choreograph ideas and collaborate. So it was so much fun. But every role, every movie has different fighting style. So we should create original movement or style each time. So that was a main thing during the training.
Got you. And my last question for you is, what would you say is your favorite Japanese film, or like a Japanese film that made you want to become an actor?
I was a child actor. When I was 5 years old, I took my first role. It was black and white, long time ago. I played son of Yakuza. Before that, I never seen the movie in the theater. So my first movie was mine in the studio screening. So after I've done few movies as a child actor, I went to the theater first time as an audience, and then, oh my God, what a great world. So then I decided to continue. Okay, I want to continue this. And so I became an actor before I watched any movies.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, thank you for your answers. They were all incredible.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the role. That's all the time I have, and thank you again.
Thank you.